I grew up in a place called Wellington, Florida. That's down in South Florida, West Palm Beach, Polo Country-ish. Uh, Played a lot of sports growing up: tennis, basketball, football, wrestling, and that's pretty much my childhood was consumed with just playing sports. It was actually an accident, kind of. I happened to be in New York and I met this photographer, Chung Kai, and he's a photographer for GQ and Vogue and a lot of those magazines. We ended up talking for about 3 hours and we hit it off, and he offered to make a book for me and he got the ball rolling. So far as the travel, I get bored in the same place. So I get to go to New York a lot. I go out to California, Mexico, Canada. I have a trip coming up to Singapore, so it's been quite exciting. I like to talk with the photographer first. I like to get along with them. I like when we can collaborate and come up with something creatively together. As far as preparations go before a shoot, the usual push-ups, sit-ups, just trying to get that last little filling out of the body before you do the shoot, since I do a lot of underwear and fitness stuff. Not for like an editorial or anything like that. I've done some art shots, but nothing that's been printed in magazines. I'm pretty comfortable being naked, yeah. There's a show that I was shooting recently, and it was a fashion show, and it was actually for a reality television program called Fashion Hunters. And we were backstage getting ready. We were trying to put this fashion show on, and we had an audience out there, and we were pressed for time, and we had this small little space that everyone was trying to rush around changing into. And they had the cameras there, filming every single second of it. Well, the cameramen and their lighting crew were taking up the entire hallway, so we're sitting there trying to get back and forth to get ready for the show to make sure that we're out there on time, and they're blocking the paths and getting upset when we're trying to push through them. So it made for quite an interesting evening. I've had some fun working with Nike. I did some runway stuff for Adidas. I did that Fashion Hunters television show. I try to stay more towards the print part, so my catwalk stuff is few and far between. But I still have fun doing it when it occasionally pops up. Yeah, I mean, you know, we've come a long ways from just being a prop for the females, and that gap that you saw back in popularity between male and female models in the 80s into the 90s is significantly narrowed. When I'm not working, I just like to be casual. I usually just toss on some jeans, some casual shoes, t-shirt. When I go out at night, I like to wear button-downs. And so I guess in that sense, I'm not really a fashionista outside, but I guess my clothes are a bit on the trendy side. That's a bit of a loaded question, because I guess it decides on how big the excitement is. Funny side story. I was actually with Michael Jackson one time before he passed, obviously, and the crowd went insane, and it was crazy pandemonium. And he had his bodyguards, and there were security guards in the area that came over and huddled around all of us, and we were whisked away off of the property. So if it was that crazy, I would assume that something like that would happen. But if it was a little more tame, I would greet my fans and enjoy spending some time with them, maybe even get some feedback, talk, take pictures, sign autographs, stuff like that. I actually try not to put any restrictions on that. I think if you set out and you're looking for something specific, you're possibly missing other wonderful things that are right in front of you. I'm a New York Giants fan through and through. I guess just be yourself, you know, be direct, don't beat around the bush, eye contact, stuff like that. I like to go skydiving. That's actually one of my favorite things to do in the entire world. Just jump out of a plane and have nothing between you and the ground except 3 miles of air. Other than that, I like to go to parks, play sports with friends. I play beach volleyball a lot. I would say the back. I don't know what it is. It's just a back always stands out as being very sexy to me. I'm an avid Jason Mraz fan. I actually just saw him in Carnegie Hall last week. He put on this amazing performance. As far as everything that I have on my iPod, I mean, I have everything from Michael Bublé to Dave Matthews to Metallica to Eminem. I listen to a wide variety of music. Hands down, steak. Nice center cut filet mignon, maybe with a little side of lobster. I all the time wear a underwear brand. I don't think too many people are familiar with it yet, but it's called The Lock, and it's really comfortable. So you should check it out if you haven't. It would have to be Cold Stone's cake batter ice cream with white chocolate chips mixed in. An actor. I kind of fell into that actually as well, being a stunt performer for Universal Studios for many, many years. It would have to be a stage production that I did called Streakin'. It was a musical 1970s review. It was a fun experience. You know, you always want that really big, juicy role. There's that part that you always just want to dive into. I don't know exactly what that role might be yet, but hopefully it lands on my lap sometime soon. I guess I would like to expand upon my acting side a little more, just because I'm more familiar with the modeling world. Although so far they seem pretty similar to me, because whether it be a still photo or a moving picture, you do have to invoke some sort of emotion from your target or audience. I actually can't talk about some of my upcoming projects because not everything is finalized and set in stone, but I can tell you that 2012 is going to be a very busy year, and you should be hopefully seeing a lot of me.